Hi, I'm Dr Janelle Sinclair, and in today's video we're going to discuss what causes depression, including biological, psychological and spiritual factors. We'll cover 6 different causes of depression, and I'll ask you some questions that may help you figure out if any of these apply to you. If you haven't met me before, I'm Dr Janelle Sinclair. I've got a PhD in biochemistry and I'm a natural medicine practitioner who specialises in mental health. And on this YouTube channel you'll find practical videos discussing effective and safe natural strategies for depression and anxiety. Be sure to stick around to the end to learn about all of the 6 causes of depression, because it's quite possible to have more than one. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and hit the bell button so you're notified about our new weekly videos. So let's begin and discuss a little bit more about the causes of depression. When we think about the causes of depression, we need to consider biological, psychological and spiritual aspects. What we're going to cover today is 6 possible causes of depression, and they do cover these factors. I learned this model of depression from counsellor David Riddell from Living Wisdom, and I've included some links to his work in the description section below this video. I'll be giving some brief suggestions on treatment strategies to investigate further. But if this video brings up some areas of concern for you, I suggest that you see a good psychologist or counsellor. So let's talk about the first type of depression, and that's biological or biochemical depression. This topic is what my YouTube channel and Instagram account is all about. Biochemical depression isn't just caused by serotonin deficiency. Instead, it has multiple causes in the body, including nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, gut dysbiosis, blood sugar imbalances, toxins, and genetic weaknesses. It's not that straightforward to know whether there's a biological cause for your depressive symptoms. But here's some questions you may want to ask yourself to help reveal whether this form of depression is relevant to you. So, have you worked with a psychologist or counsellor for a while but only seen limited results? Do you have healthy thought patterns but still struggle with low mood? Do you feel exhausted? Is your mood worse 1 to 2 weeks before your period, or was your mood fine up until menopause? Or perhaps you have mental health issues that run in the family. If you've answered yes to any of these questions, there could be a biological cause for your depression. Another thing that I suggest you investigate is whether your physical body is giving you any signs that there's a biological cause for your depression. These symptoms could include gut issues such as diarrhea, bloating, farting or constipation, also heavy periods or painful periods, white dots in the fingernails or a swollen tongue. I've actually created a checklist that gives you 29 symptoms that could reveal if and what type of biological cause there is for your depression. I've included the link down in the description below this video, or check out my website drjanellesinclair.com. Once you've detected what the specific biological cause of your depression is, then you can treat it specifically using supplements and diet. Depression type number 2, burnout or exhausted depression. This could also be called adrenal fatigue. This type of depression can fit under both a biological cause or a psychological factor of depression, which you'll understand why in a moment. Burnout depression usually occurs because someone has been overtaxed and not rested for far too long. This can occur if you've been working very long hours, have too many commitments or responsibilities, are having late nights, Or maybe you've been overtraining at the gym or in a competitive sport. Burnout depression often occurs in combination with not looking after yourself, not eating well, not getting enough sleep, not having a regular day off each week, having no hobbies or recreations, or not doing anything that recharges you. So here come some questions you may ask yourself. Did you have a breakdown episode? Or did you burn yourself out from work or a hectic lifestyle? To treat burnout depression, you need both a physical and psychological treatment approach. The reason that it can be considered a biological cause of depression is that through these burnout episodes, you burn out the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands produce our stress hormones, and when we don't have enough of these stress hormones, we experience exhaustion, depression, and lowered resilience. Herbs, vitamins, nourishing food, and diaphragm breathing can help restore the adrenals and therefore improve your mood. But also looking at the psychological reasons for why you burnt out in the first place is also a good idea. Were you doing too much, or do you need to learn to say no? Do you need to learn to ask for help? Do you have a fear of failure that means that you may overwork yourself because you must prove that you're good enough? Or maybe you need to make self-care a greater priority. The third type of depression is called hopeless or powerless depression. This type of depression fits under the psychological category, and the characteristics of this type of depression is that you may feel that your situation is hopeless and you feel powerless to change it. You may have the feeling of being stuck or really frustrated. You may also feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, just in this bind. This is sometimes due to learned powerlessness or feeling inadequate or feeling stuck in a difficult relationship. In this type of depression, you don't hate yourself, but you may hate or dislike aspects of your life as the situation feels hopeless to you. But remember, there are no hopeless situations. There are only people who have become hopeless about that situation. So you may like to ask yourself, do you feel stuck? Do you feel frustrated or powerless in any area of your life? If the answer is yes, then this type of hopeless or powerless depression may be applicable to you. And if you're feeling helpless right now or stuck and don't know how to move forward, I'll provide some links for you further information in the description of this video below. Or if you can relate to these feelings, maybe you need to talk to a counsellor about it. So, is this information resonating with you? Or have you learnt something new? I'd love to hear. So let me know in the comments section below the video. Depression type number 4, nurture deprivation or sad depression. Again, this type of depression fits under the psychological category. It is often due to the grief of emotional deprivation and touch deprivation, which can happen with adoption, with fostering, with a bereavement, parental neglect or abandonment. It's often called the orphan sadness. David Riddell describes it that you may feel like a deflated balloon. You feel deflated because you were never properly charged up or pumped up for life in the first place. And this results in a continuing lack of enthusiasm, a lack of an encouragement, and a lack of any excitement about life. So here's a question for you. Do you feel lonely or abandoned? Do you have a lack of encouraging people in your life growing up? Or are you a pessimist? If you've answered yes, you may need to learn to reparent yourself. You need to learn to talk to yourself as an ideal, encouraging parent would, and perhaps seek an encouraging mentor. Depression type number 5, anger turned inwards. The theory behind anger turned inwards depression is that people become depressed because the anger that they feel towards others who've hurt them or let them down is turned inwards. And yes, this fits under the psychological category. Some of the characteristics of this type of depression include feeling overly critical towards yourself, hating yourself, being angry at the world, or seeing yourself as powerless, pathetic, or helpless. With depression type number 3 that we discussed previously, called hopeless or powerless depression, it's often about hating your life and feeling hopeless about it. Whereas anger turned inwards is more about anger or hate of yourself. So here's a few questions for you. Do you dislike yourself, or are you very critical of yourself? Do you need to learn to express your anger in a healthy way, or learn to be kind to yourself? Or is there someone that you need to forgive, or do you actually just need to forgive yourself? If you're answering yes to these questions, I suggest that you talk to a counsellor or psychologist about it further. Depression type number 6, lack of purpose or meaningless depression. So this type of depression can be viewed as a spiritual cause of depression. It's due to the big why question that we all must face not being answered. Why am I here? What do I have to get up for every morning? What difference does my life make? What is my purpose? If you have no reason or vision for your life, it is hard to be enthusiastic and happy about it, let's face it. So my question for you is this: do you feel that you have a purpose for your life? Or do you have a vision for it? If the answer is no, then the area that you may need to investigate more is that why question. Why am I here, and what is the purpose of my life? I personally believe that we're all made by God for a purpose. Your life has meaning. You are unique, and you have a unique personality and gifts to bring the world. It's time for you to do some soul searching. Get in touch with God or your higher power and ask for leading in your life. Read some books, learn more about your personality types and the way that you're wired and your strengths. It might not be easy, but it's definitely worth it. Moving forward, keep in mind that you can have more than one type of depression. And if you'd like to know more about the biological causes of depression, subscribe to this channel and maybe watch my video on the 5 overlooked biological causes of depression. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.